Welcome to the Culinary Treasure Podcast. I'm Steven Shomler, your host. Today finds me once again on the enchanting island of Kauai. Today I have the joy of visiting with Mindy Rosenberg-Hibbitt. Did I get that right?
You sure did.
And you are the magic behind the miracle that is RipTides Kauai.
You're too kind. Thank you, Steve. And aloha, everyone.
Now, you're getting the full meal deal. That's pretty rare because I've got this is Culinary Treasure article coming out about you. We already filmed an episode of You Have to Get Here. And so now you're getting a podcast. It's the whole enchilada, baby.
It's the real deal coming from you, Steve. I am grateful for all the exposure.
Well, it's just because your stuff is good and it's fun, and it was so much fun filming. You're literally right across the street from the ocean, and the street is like a little narrow lane. And boom, right there's the ocean, and it was a beautiful filming day, and I had some incredible food. And I've been working on This is Culinary Treasure article, and so to get to tell your story in depth, that's going to be a lot of fun. But questions I ask, and for those that like, what do they? If I was listening, well, what does RipTides Kauai have? Well, you have amazing food. We're going to talk about it all. You have Koloa pork nachos. You have chili and rice. You have chili dogs. You have Koloa pork hot dogs. I ate one of those on You Have to Get Here. So a lot of good food. And then you have two different kinds of shave ice. We'll talk about what they are. So there's someone wondering, what do they have? They have amazing food. You have to come. It's an incredible little food shack. It's like a food truck, but no engine, no steering wheel. It's the home of Ohana comfort food, really. That's what I think. So where were you born?
I was born in Lakewood, New Jersey, and raised in one town over called Howell Township.
And where'd you go to high school?
Howell High School.
And what's the mascot there?
Howell Rebels.
So that's New Jersey. Did you spend any time on the Jersey Shore?
I grew up on the Jersey Shore.
And did you out in the water at all?
Always in the water, and it's nothing like what you see on the show Jersey Shore. I just need to put that in there.
No, I can see you on that show, really. No, that's not how you come across.
Definitely not me.
I'm just teasing.
But yes, we grew up in the water, going to the beach regularly. There's so many amazing beaches to choose from on the East Coast. But mainly we spent a lot of time on Point Pleasant Boardwalk and Manasquan Beach.
Say those again?
Point Pleasant Boardwalk and Manasquan Beach.
Now, should I go, if I ever get a chance to go to New Jersey, should I go to Manasquan Beach?
I would go to Point Pleasant because you get the boardwalk with the rides and the games and also the beach.
Is there schlocky boardwalk food?
Define schlocky.
I don't know, just like fried Twinkies or fried Oreos or deep fried corn dogs with lots of mustard on them.
There's all of that and then some. One fond memory is waffles with Neapolitan ice cream in the middle, waffle sandwich with ice cream.
Oh, that is awesome. I had the best breakfast yesterday at Red Salt. Incredible chef out there, Chef Noi. And, I had, what did I have? I had Benedict lobster with mango chive hollandaise sauce. I had pineapple, passion fruit, these pancakes, these puff, incredible, huge, beautiful pancakes. So I could eat that way. But I'm also really good with just like a dive bar hamburger or a dive bar hot dog. I'm an equal opportunity offender. I'll eat just about anything. And you give me that deep fried nonsense, I'll have it.
That meal does sound next level, but you don't get to stare at the ocean while enjoying it like you do at RipTides.
That's exactly.
Just saying.
Yeah, and the food I've had here revels hers, I have to tell you. I mean, it's that Koloa pork hot dog. I literally still think about it. It was that good. Okay, so you're in New Jersey, and at some point you moved to Kauai. So what year did you move to Kauai?
October 1997. There was a short stint in San Diego prior to coming to Kauai.
San Diego's pretty cool, too.
Yes.
A lot of good food down there.
And another beach.
So which beach? Did you remember the name of the beach?
I lived in Pacific Beach on Pacific Beach Drive.
So when I was a kid, my dad would take us to Black's Beach.
Oh, sure.
Which at the time was a nude beach.
Yeah.
And when you're
it still is, I think.
When you're 6, there's things you just don't need to see because it sounds exciting until there's like 60-year-olds and you're 6 years old. You're like, oh, that's not what I thought.
That's funny. Yes, Black Beach is a thing. There's also Dog Beach. That might be a little better to take your 6-year-old to.
Yep, my parents were never good on the whole parenting thing. They got an F in that. So tell the cool story. It's a really amazing story of how you ended up moving for, 3 months? Allegedly. It was going to be a 3-month stint.
Yes, allegedly. Word.
But before you got here, it was going to be 3 months. But tell us that story.
Simple but sweet. I was living in San Diego for a couple of years, and my best friend Kim, who I met in college in New Jersey, was out here on Kauai visiting. And she called me up and she said, "This place is magical. We need to come here and work for 3 months. Let's work, let's play, and then let's just go back to our real lives." And I said, "Well, what are we going to do? We're going to live in a hut on a beach." I had no concept of the Hawaiian Islands, what it was all about, how it was designed. And I said, "You really need to go find us a place to live and a place to work. I can't just come for 3 months and not work." So an hour later, she called me back and she said, "I found us a cute little studio apartment in Koloa town. It's a 6-month lease, but even if we stay for 3 months, we can just pay it off. And I found a restaurant called Keoki's Paradise. They're hiring and let's do this." 2 months later, we met in LA and we flew to Kauai with our rafts that we were going to use as beds. And the rest is history. 25 years later, we're both still here. Well, Kim is actually on Oahu, but I'm here.
Is she doing anything cool on Oahu, or are we allowed to say?
She's super cool, actually. She's a veterinarian scientist. So she diagnoses animals with diseases. She gets blood from all over the nation sent to her lab. She was doing that for quite a few years. Right now, she's transitioning jobs because her company was sold that she works for.
Okay, but now here's the cool thing. You told her to find a place. She did, jobs. So you fly out here, and what did you say to yourself when you landed in Kauai?
I literally looked at the mountains and I said, "I am home."
And so some people, how long does it take to feel like home? For you, you felt like you were home immediately.
I truly did. It was instant. I knew this is where I belonged.
Well, what do you love about Kauai living here?
Well, I knew growing up in New Jersey that I didn't want to live in a cold climate anymore. I didn't like the winters there. And I had always told my mom, Hawaii and California. I'm going to live in Hawaii and California without ever having been to either of those. I kept saying that. And I made that happen, first to San Diego and then here. And honestly, on any given day, just driving around on Kauai, the aesthetics are so pleasing. The mountains are beautiful. I love all the foliage. And obviously, the ocean just draws me in.
And do you still go play in the ocean?
Absolutely. Not as often as I'd like because I work really hard, but I definitely take time for myself when I go to the beach.
So you were a server for a hot minute, and then you ended up, you had the perfect preparation to run a restaurant, a cell phone accessory retail space business. How many years did you have that?
I had that for 16 years at Kukui Grow Shopping Center.
And what the heck did you sell now?
It was cell phone accessories and I did cell phone repairs. It was a kiosk right out there in the middle of the food court. We withstood the rain and the wind and all the harsh elements that Kauai brings to you sometimes. But for 16 years, we did it and we did it well. And people were very sad when I decided to close the business down this past June of 2022.
I just think that's hilarious. They're the things that people have that prepare them for their time in the culinary world. Although there are some, you were prepared very well, actually, because your mom and dad both had businesses when you were growing up.
Correct. They weren't food businesses, but they were still small, locally owned businesses. And I did learn the trade. I mean, my sisters and I have 2 sisters. We were working the registers long before we can even reach over the counter. We had step stools. And we were always involved, all hands on.
Yeah, because the challenge with being in the culinary business, you have to learn the culinary business and you have to learn how to be self-employed. And those are 2 very different things.
I think being a mom of 3 prepped me for the culinary business because all moms are short order cooks.
Yeah, it
right?
may not be professional cooking, but yeah, it's definitely short order cooking. And so you already had the self-employed component down because some people, they may be able to figure out the cooking, but being self-employed itself is a challenge. And I've worked with some people, in my Spark to Bonfire side for volunteering mentoring, where really they're just not wired to be self-employed because you set your own hours and that can be a blessing and a curse.
And I do feel like I do it and I do it well. I never have taken a business class. That wasn't my major in college. It was actually advertising and TV, radio, broadcasting. But like I said, growing up in the business taught me a lot of the different facets of it and then just learning curves as I go. I screw up, I fail. I've opened and closed so many businesses over the years, but obviously now we have found success.
Yeah, and you're doing fantastic. Okay,
Thank you.
so now RipTides Kauai, it's a business that's been around roughly 20 years, started in the early 2000s, so a long time. It's had multiple owners, this cool little box, and many different iterations of this cool little box. But tell us the story of you purchasing it.
I was working here one day a week. Funny enough, I didn't want to work 7 days a week at the mall. And so I hired somebody to work on Sundays so that I could work here at RipTides and help my friend Linda out. And when COVID came around, Linda decided, well, just like every business, she closed it down in March of 2020. And it was closed all the way until June. And in those couple of months, we had many conversations about what she was going to do with it, offered if I wanted to just manage it, and they were thinking of moving off island. Anyway, long story short, she decided to sell it and offered me first dibs on it before she listed it.
And you bought it.
And it was a no-brainer. I scooped it up.
Yes, with all of your vast server and mom cooking experience.
I was ready.
And I joke, but I really do think that mom stuff counts, because like just getting all the dishes on the table at the same time, talk about management skills. All those skills really do count. Even though I was making a joke, moms are amazing. Not all moms, but most moms are amazing and do a great job. And you learn a tremendous amount that applies in the business world. So tremendous. Like if you want a good manager, get a good mom. Just raise 3 or 4 kids.
It's true. It truly is. It sets the bar.
Yep. Okay, and then so June 2020, you decide to open your business. Now you realize that we're in the middle of a pandemic.
Yes, call me crazy.
And no one could visit Kauai practically until April of 2021. So if my math is good, that's about 10 months where you have no tourists can get on the island. So you're only serving locals. Are you out of your ever-loving mind?
Pretty much. I asked myself that question many a times over this couple months, but it worked. Somehow it worked. I kept the overhead low. Money would trickle in. I had my other business, which was, once we reopened after the 6 weeks of being shut down, that was doing very well. So that actually was carrying me. And RipTides, it was just slow and steady all the way until we reopened in April of 2022.
And so when you're inside the cart, or I guess it seems like a food cart to me, even though there's no engine or steering wheel. But when you're inside and you're looking out, there's a little tiny lane, and the ocean and the beach is right there. And there's 3 different surf breaks, popular surf breaks. And in the summer, as I understand correctly, the South Shore is the good for surfing in the summer.
Yes.
So lots of locals are surfing, and they would come and have your food and your shave ice.
And it was actually pretty cool, because if you're here during a busy time, it's very hard to connect with your customers. The line move, you order and you step aside, order, step aside. During the pandemic, although I don't wish to go back to that ever again, we were able to connect and talk story and, as we say, vala'au with our local customers. And I think that really helped us when we came out the other end. These people still patron my business, and they might not have prior to COVID.
Now, I know talk story. I think I was born talking story. But
You're right.
what's vala'au?
Vala'au is to talk story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Oh, good. I got to learn how to say that. I'm terrible with words that I didn't grow up with. Doesn't matter what language they are. And I've done so bad with Hawaiian this trip. I just blame it on being tired. But I just not good with that. So I want to shift to talking about your menu and some of your stuff. So they had, when you took over the business, they had the shave ice, the 2 different kinds we'll talk about in a second, and you got all the secret recipes. And we got to talk about how you do your ice. You're like maniacal, a maniac about your ice, but it pays off.
Matters.
It matters. I get it.
It's the key to making real Hawaiian shave ice versus a snow cone.
Yeah, it's meticulous. So we'll get to that. But the food that they already had when you took over, and the reason I don't mention food is that a lot of people only think you have shave ice, and that's just not true. And I know that food, prior to you purchasing it, food was available, not necessarily pushed, but now you do really well with food. I've had the food. I love it. And I've told so many people, oh, you got to come here for food. You got to come here for food. And shave ice is a laydown, but it's the food that's phenomenal. But when you came here, they had hot dogs, they had chili, and they had a secret recipe, and they had rice. But then you added a lot of cool things like Koloa pork. And you've got to figure out how to make Koloa pork. You've never done it professionally before. So you did what all of us would do, is you worked with a friend who's a vegan chef. Do I have that right?
Yes. Yes.
I always get vegan chefs to teach me how to make Koloa
How to make pork. Yes.
but you actually a lot. We're not going to give away the secrets, but you went through a lot of iterations, and now your Koloa pork is absolutely phenomenal. And you started as mixing everything up. Tell me if I'm right. So you put the chili on the dog for a chili dog. You put the chili on the rice. You put the Koloa pork on the hot dog, which is absolutely ridiculous.
The carnivore special.
Oh, yeah, and I actually ate that on my show, which is amazing. And you got to tell this story how Kauai's husband, we got to blame him. We got to blame Joe. So tell us that story.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not blame him. I love him. I'm grateful for him, and I'm grateful for Kauai. Kauai's amazing. She's like one of your secret weapons.
She gets the props on this one, that's for sure. And a couple of other creations she's come up with in the time that she's been with me. But yeah, he came one day, as he frequently does, and was very hungry. And it wasn't my idea, but all of a sudden, Kauai said, "Look what I made." And she had put the Koloa pork on the hot dog, topped it with our house-made slaw, put some barbecue sauce on it, and served it to Joe. And the rest is history. He said that needs to stay on the menu. That thing is amazing.
Yeah, it's phenomenal, and it's messy to eat. And I guess I impressed you guys because I just ate it without not even a fork.
No utensils. Picked it up, took a bite of it,
and then kept filming.
Yeah,
Right.
he didn't even dribble on himself.
Yeah, there's two secrets to filming, to making food television. One, you lean forward so that when it falls not on your shirt.
Oh, good one.
And the second secret is that you bite and you tuck. So you have to have fat cheeks like me so you can hide the food in your cheek and still talk.
Oh, the chipmunk way.
Exactly. That's the secret. Bite and tuck. Because if you chew it and you chew it and you wait, it's boring.
Right. And then who wants to really watch you chew your food?
Yeah, or it's just a weird edit. So you bite, you take a couple bites, then you tuck, you smile, and you start talking. It's phenomenal. But if you don't have fat cheeks, it's not as good.
And you can't take too big of a bite, I assume.
That's the other thing, which is almost impossible with your amazing... If you want the pork and the bread and the hot dog...
It's a big bite.
Yeah, but I'm a professional, so I was able to pull it off. But the food is really good. And then you have Koloa pork nachos.
Yeah.
Now, tell us what's on those. They're insane. I ate those too. It was my duty. I didn't do it for gluttony. I did it in the service of my fans. But tell us what's on the Koloa pork nachos.
Sure. This is one of those things that when we make one order and pass it out the window, it's a domino effect. Everybody sees that and says, "What is that? I need that." So it's 3 layers high. We do tortilla chips, nacho cheese, Koloa pork. Again, same layer, tortilla chips, nacho cheese, Koloa pork, and a 3rd layer of that. And then we top it off with sour cream and guacamole.
And it is so good. And the nacho cheese, it's not just like melted cheese. It's got that little nacho cheese
Yeah, it's
flavor.
actually nacho cheese. It's got the bell peppers and the jalapeno in it, so it's got a little kick.
Yeah, when I was a kid, they'd have nacho cheese at the theater, and it was like a little bit spicy. And then there was like a decade, it seemed like, where it was just yellow cheese, and it was nasty. And now occasionally you can find, in the can, at least in my neck of the woods, in a can you can get that still nacho cheese with a little bit of heat to it. Not that you can't make it by scratch, but opening a can is just amazing.
Well, honestly, we started with sprinkled cheese. We had shredded cheese for the nachos, and it just didn't come out the way we wanted it to.
Yeah.
It would get hard in an instant.
Yeah, and shredded cheese on nachos doesn't ring the bell like that nacho cheese, that queso flavor, that little bit of spice.
Completely. I wasn't proud of it, and that's the main thing. I want to be proud of every single thing that goes out of my window.
Yeah, and you have what an interesting thing that you have. This, just a bit of a tangent, but I've seen it now, and this is what my 4th visit here, eating and creating content and having fun. It's a rough life, but someone has to do it. Is you are Auntie Mindy. There's a lot of young women that they don't realize it, but you're actually mentoring them. And if they ever want to be self-employed, if they ever work in a culinary business, you're giving them a training that they don't even realize they're getting.
Thank you for acknowledging that, actually. It's one of the things that I do take pride in. In Hawaii, all states are different, but the kids can work as young as age 14. They need working papers. The hours are restricted. But I bring them in young, and they are learning. They don't even realize how many different facets of business they're learning in here. These kids are learning customer service. They're learning to work well with their coworkers in a very tiny space, I might add. They're learning to troubleshoot, think on their feet, to be organized. There's so many, they deal with money. I mean, 14 years old, these kids leave with a plethora of knowledge. And I'm really, really proud of that. And yes, Auntie Mindy, there's tons of that going on throughout the day.
Yeah, in Hawaii, there's the aunties. That's aunties, they say, right? To have the
Auntie, yeah.
the auntie. Everyone's auntie. And I was at
Your Uncle Steve.
Uncle Steven. Yeah, Steven with an N.
Yes.
But if they're older than you, they're aunt or your uncle. And I was, when I get here, I've learned I have a certain ritual. I don't know if I should admit this, but I go to Walmart and I get my Hawaiian Sun Lilikoi passion fruit in a can. And then I get some vodka, and then I'm set. If I need a cocktail, I've got one ready to go. And I was in line, and this elderly Hawaiian woman came, and she was struggling. She couldn't find the gum. And I wasn't even thinking. I said, "Oh, Auntie, I'll help you." And she took my arm, and I just left my cart, and I helped her find her gum, and she gave me a hug, and it's like, I slipped right into my,
You slip into your role. That's how it has to be. You have to
Auntie.
help.
And I knew to call her Auntie, and she was like totally good with it. And
It's disrespectful if you don't.
yes. And so I like that. I feel like there is respect for the elderly here in Hawaii that I really appreciate.
Yes, the kapuna are our main focus on this island. We want to keep them healthy and safe. And of course, it's generational here. Hawaiian style living. We have so many different, it's a melting pot of culture here. And families stay together. Family is so important. Ohana, family.
Yep. And back to the helping young women. I just think that's so important. You may not be aware of this, but women that have a tough time in the United States, tougher than men over history. You may not even be aware of this. Of course you are. And so I kind of go out of my way, kind of my little acts of resistance or opposition is I want to celebrate women in business and just do my part to kind of help make up for all that nonsense. So I appreciate you doing what you do.
Thank you. I do love that. You know what we say now? #girlboss.
There you go. And you do great at it.
Thank you.
All right. So we've talked about the food. We've got the Koloa pork nachos. You can get regular nachos. You can get a hot dog, a regular hot dog, which I might have today. I might need just a regular hot dog. I feel like I'm in a nitrate deficit situation. You can get the Koloa pork nachos. You can get the chili and rice. You can get a chili dog. And did I missing? There's some other food I have, right? Am I missing something?
Gosh, as far as the hot food goes, we have regular hot dog, chili dog, Koloa pork dog. Then we've got chili over rice, chili nachos. We've got Koloa over rice and Koloa nachos. And one thing I want to add is that myself personally, I have a lot of food dietary restrictions, and it's very important for me to be able to feed the masses. All of our meat products, our hot food is all gluten-free. As far as the hot dog goes, if you can't eat the bun, we can serve it to you over rice. There's a million different ways that we can accommodate you. And we get a lot of people coming here with celiac disease, very concerned. We take a lot of care in, somebody feels uncomfortable, we'll switch our gloves. We wash the ice cream scooper. We have a lot of nut allergy people that come here. We do serve Mac nuts. So we take it real seriously, and we want to make sure everybody obviously is safe and is enjoying a meal.
There you go. I like that. Okay, so let's transition to the shave ice. So you've got the regular shave ice with all the flavors. Just give us some of the flavors of your regular old shave ice.
Sure. One of the most populars are blue raspberry and cherry. We actually have 27 traditional flavors. And I get them from the man who basically he's the grand poobah of shave ice. He had his own little shave ice stand over in Kapa'a in front of the Big Save for many, many years, to where now I have adult customers tell me they know it's Uncle Aaron's syrups. They know because he's very different than all of the other traditional syrups around the island. So yes, we've got fun ones from blue raspberry to cherry to cotton candy, to all the tropical flavors, mango, passion fruit, guava, pineapple, pina colada. It's kind of endless, actually.
And then you can put either vanilla ice cream or Mac nut vanilla ice cream in the bottom of the bowl.
Correct.
You hide that in the bottom.
Yep.
And then you can get a snow cap of either cream or coconut.
Yep, dairy or non-dairy.
Yep. And snow cap is just an extra little flavor on top.
Sweet cream drizzle on top.
And then you can get ling he mui.
Yum, yum.
I couldn't say it last time. I can say it now. If people knew behind the scenes how many takes I had to say I was tired and I just couldn't say ling he mui. Now I say it all the time just to make myself happy. I can say ling he mui.
I can attest to that. Okay, take 10.
But it's it's a cracked seed of
cracked plum seed.
Cracked plum seed, and it's kind of sour and tangy.
Yeah, it's
at the same time, sour and tangy.
Yeah.
And so then and then you've got a couple other. You've got chamoy.
Yep, we've got chamoy, and we've got mochi, which are little rice balls, and that one also we put inside and then top it with it. And we've got sour spray too. A lot of people love the tartness, so they'll get a lemon lime with sour spray on it.
Now, I've met some people that they put that on in the morning just to shape their mood. Particularly in the culinary world, I mean, some customers, I think, actually use the sour spray. But no, that's a different kind of sour spray, I think.
Yeah, we're focusing on Shave Ice sour spray. A little citric acid and water combination.
And so yesterday, it was, it usually doesn't snow in the Portland area, maybe once a year. Sometimes, some years it doesn't snow at all. But there was like 8 inches of snow on the ground. It was 32 degrees. So I figured I better come here. It was 74 degrees. I was in the sun. I had a half tiger's blood. And what are the flavors in tiger's blood?
Strawberry, watermelon, and a hint of coconut.
Yeah, I love tiger's blood. And the other half was
Popular.
pina colada.
Pineapple and coconut.
I had vanilla mac ice cream hidden in the bottom. And then I had the coconut snow cap. And then I felt like I just needed to eat that looking out at the ocean. I did a post about it, and it was magnificent. So I encourage people to come. You can get up to 3 flavors on the regular flavors, the 27 regular flavors. Do I have that right?
Yep.
3 flavors. Get the ice cream, get the mac nut, because there's actually macadamia nuts in it.
Yes, we add our mac nuts to the ice cream. We don't buy macadamia nut ice cream.
That's okay.
So they stay crunchy. Some feedback I've gotten.
There was so many in there.
Yes, because we add them. Yeah.
I couldn't figure that out because I loved it. And it was crunchy and amazing, but I thought, wow, this is really okay. That brings the pieces together. It was phenomenal.
Because we use the mac nuts for one of our, we should call it the kitchen sink, but it's called the Ono ice cream lava bowl. And I could just tell you about it while we're on
Yes, I would like to hear about the Ono ice cream lava bowl.
So it's 3 scoops of vanilla ice cream, warmed brownies, mac nuts, Oreos, chocolate syrup, caramel syrup, whipped cream, and sprinkles.
Oh,
it's enough for 2 for sure.
Wow, that sounds ridiculous and incredible.
You might have to have one of those after you have your nitrate fix.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Hasn't been eating a lot this trip.
And we actually just changed how we're serving it. We put it in a waffle bowl now. Instead of just in a bowl.
Oh, of course you do. Of course you do. Okay, the other fun thing is you have like organic, uber healthy, 5 flavors. It's different. It's not just the sugar syrup, which I'm all in favor of. I got 0 opposition to the sugar syrup. I'm all in. But tell me about these organic, basic, they're kind of like juices made into shave ice, right?
Yeah. It's a very simple recipe, actually. I use organic fruit, whole fruit. I make a simple syrup, and I just do a light blend. So in the end, you're getting a real fruit product that has pulp in it and texture. It's not just a flat syrup. And we actually build them different than we do the traditional shave ice. With the real fruit, we do it in 2 layers so that to make sure that the juice is at the bottom because it is so thick. But on the top layer, we make holes. We use chopsticks and we make holes, 1 million holes in your ice. So when we pour the syrup on there, it actually goes through it.
And I had your favorite when I filmed. It wasn't as pretty. I wanted like the bright red or the bright blue for filming, and you said, no, you got to get this one. And I'm like, I don't know about that. And I don't want the organic, healthy stuff. Like I want the extra caffeinated cherry or whatever. But what was the flavor you had me get?
Yeah, you fought me on it, but I won.
And you were right. I yield. Just do what Mindy says. Your life will be better.
You had our creamy coconut and passion fruit, which is lilikoi in Hawaiian.
Yes.
And those are my 2 favorite flavors. And consensus in the shack, most of the girls love that combo as well.
And then had a coconut snow cap.
And a coconut.
And Ling Yui.
Yeah, Lihimui powder.
And it was so good.
Thank you.
It was amazing. And so tell us those 5 flavors.
Sure. We've got pineapple, strawberry, creamy coconut, passion fruit, and mango. And then once in a while, I throw a special in there. This week, I made organic cherry.
So it was cherry who was last time I was here. So cherry comes and goes occasionally.
Comes and goes, yes.
Yeah. So, boy, I love cherry and I love pineapple. Wow. I bet the fresh pineapple organic is amazing.
We're going to try that too. After you have your nitrate fix and your Ono lovable, we're going to make you a real fruit pineapple cherry.
Now, what would you put a topping on the pineapple?
I always like the coconut cap.
Okay.
I personally don't do dairy, so I'm a big fan of the coconut cap. And actually, we added that to this menu. That wasn't here when I purchased RipTides.
And then if I got the organic pineapple, would you put any of the toppings like the linky or the sour spray? Like
I would.
Pineapple by itself.
The pineapple and lihimui is an amazing combo.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Because it's tart, and then with the cap and then the tartness of the lihimui, it all complements one another.
So one of the fun things, you do events, like you'll cater weddings, you'll cater events, and you will take the shave ice on the road, not the hot food, just the shave ice. And you could do like little mini shave ices, right?
We serve our cakey size when we do the events because honestly, our regular size shave ice is so large. People don't need that when they're at an event and they have their full menu and other desserts are being offered. So we use our cakey size.
And when it's possible and when the people request it, you can do something amazing. And I literally said last time I was here, the only way to make this better is to put Koloa rum on it. And you said I do that.
Yeah,
I about jumped out of my skin. Like, I want to get your coconut and then put some Koloa chocolate rum on there.
Ooh, that would be amazing. It was by accident. Also, I was doing a wedding and we were just doing our real fruit flavors, which is what I offer at these events, unless people are, adamant about having traditional syrups. But the groom came over to me with his rum and he said, "We need to add this to the shave ice." And then he made me try it. And it was amazing. And then we just proposed that to the resort that I was working with, if we could try and do an event with them. And it all came together and we actually did an event one night. And it was a success. And if people want it, we can provide it.
Yeah, and rum's, in my world, rum's fine. Like a gin martini once a week before a nice dinner, that's perfect to me. Maybe an old fashioned once a week, that's my favorite cocktail. But I love gin, and rum's like, okay, fine. If I'm in a tropical place, I'll have a Mai Tai. But to me, Koloa rum was a revelation. It is like the coconut rum tastes like coconut. The chocolate rum is not chocolate flavored rum. It's made with real cacao grown right here on the island of Kauai at Lidgate Farms. I mean, all of it is the dark rum is to be sipped and amazing. The coffee rum, I'm probably going to get a commercial for them, but it's fantastic. And it's so much fun. That's right here in Kauai.
Yeah, they do a really fun tour too, a safari tour, actually. And you could taste the rum, get a little silly.
Yep. And say, I was talking to Bob, the CEO, on Thursday night. I'll just name drop. I'm a cool kid. But the steel for their new space they're building, it's going to be a new distillery. It's on its way. This is on March of 2023. He said in about 2 months the steel will arrive, and they hope to start construction this fall. And so by 2024, there might be a whole new Koloa rum tasting room and distillery all in one space.
I'm so happy to hear that because about 2 years ago, they had a groundbreaking party on their land that they bought for this.
Yep.
And then COVID hit.
Yep.
And
really messed everything up.
They're
back on track.
I love that.
Okay, so we've covered the food, we've covered the shave ice. Now, what are some fun? Now, you, I want to honor your journey or not speak out of school, but you are a celiac, so no gluten for you. You're a Presbyterian, which means you can only have fish.
I'm a pescatarian.
So pescatarian, that's for you. No dairy, no meat. And but you do eat fish.
I do eat fish. I don't eat any shellfish. I grew up with a lot of food allergies and never really was able to pinpoint it all until my adult life. I figured it all out. And yes, there's a slew of food that I'm allergic to. I'm not allergic to meat. I just do it by choice as I'm an animal lover. And the dairy has always been an issue for me. And the gluten was one of the things that kept me down my whole life. And later in life, I figured it out, and it's been a game changer.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that, like if you go to Europe, some people can eat pasta in Europe, but they can't eat pasta here.
Correct.
But yeah, if you're struggling with health, try cutting out gluten. It's amazing how many people just don't do well with it for whatever reason. It can be life-changing. But I mention that only because some of your food recommendations are taking all that in consideration. Before we get to a couple places you like around here, where are you at? Like, you eat green olives?
I love green olives, but I'm highly allergic to Kalamata olives.
Okay, so none of those. You can have green olives.
Yep, I can have.
So you could have a gin martini with 3 olives.
Yeah, I don't really like vodka though, Steven.
No, vodka's not gin.
Oh, gin martini.
Gin martini.
Gin martini. Oh, yes, I could do that.
Oh, hot dog. All right. Okay, so what are a couple of places that for you, there's lots of good places to eat. You probably could give me a list of 50. We're not going to leave anybody out, but give me 2 or 3 that come to your mind.
I'm not a real fancy eater. Again, it's taken me a while to find the places that work for me that I could eat at safely and that I trust that they're not going to have cross-contamination in their kitchen. One of my favorites is De Crack, which is located right here in Poipu. It's a Mexican restaurant. It's not even a restaurant. It's a walk-up window, smaller than RipTides, if that's even possible. You walk up, you order, they call your name a little while later. But they offer bowls and burritos. And I always get a bowl because the burrito is not gluten-free, the tortilla.
And it's DA space Da Crack.
Da Crack.
Okay.
Yep.
And what's another one?
Another one would be Hapa's.
Oh, Apa Kauai.
Hapa Kauai.
Yeah, lots of different. There's even a vegan ramen on the menu and a vegetarian ramen on the menu.
Yep, a gluten-free and vegan.
Yes.
And so that's been a favorite. That's a pretty new restaurant that just opened up here on Kauai, and we've frequented it quite a few times already.
Yeah, and they do have good Mai Tais. Koloa is the only rum sold at Hapa. I love Michael and Sarah. I did a Culinary Treasure podcast with each of them. So you joined that illustrious constellation. And then is there a third one that you want to mention? Is there any good Thai places around here?
Yeah. Oh, yummy. Over in Koloa town, there's a lot of food trucks, but there's one in particular called Craving Thai. I go there all the time. I get their summer rolls and I get their yellow curry with vegetables and tofu. Personally, I love it. It's incredible.
Perfect. So anybody has any of those health restrictions or preferences? Sometimes people eat the way you do just for preferences, for lots of other reasons other than maybe just because they need to.
Yes.
You've just given 3 great options, which now I'm going to seal all those as, and now I can just parrot them back. Yeah, you need to go to Crack. You need to go to Craving Thai. It's a food cart over in where?
In Koloa town.
Koloa town.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just be able
Yeah.
to parrot all that. And then if you were to now, we can't give away too many local secrets because locals on Hawaii, like I'm not even, Kauai feels more welcoming than other islands, but I think visitors are the most tolerated on Kauai and the Big Island, but there's certain places that the locals need to go, so we can't give away those secrets. But if there's local places that we could send anybody to, what's one place that you would recommend? But don't give away the secrets, they'll get you in trouble.
It's okay. I'll whisper it so nobody hears.
Okay.
One of my most favorite spots, it's so magical, is the furthest point on the west side of Kauai. It's a state park called Polihale State Park. And Poli means spirit, Hale means house. It's a spirit house. And the energy there, or the mana, is you have to be open to it. You have to be in touch with it to feel it. But it's a magical place where you just feel so at peace, so calm. To describe it a little bit, it's the end of the road, like I just mentioned, but it's where the Nepali cliffs and the sea and the sand all meet up on the west side. And out in the distance to the left is the forbidden island of Ni'ihau. The sun sets behind it. It's just so dreamy. You can really just let all your problems wash off of you while you're there. We camp there frequently, spend a couple nights. It's really leaving reality.
And it's a very long beach.
It's I forget exactly how many miles it is, but it's one of the most untouched beaches in the whole state of Hawaii. You can drive on the sand. They don't encourage it at all. They're actually trying to prevent people from driving, but you can four-wheel. And like I said, you can camp. There's pavilions there, there's bathrooms, and there's showers. But if you're going in, you need to bring any food and drinks and umbrellas.
It's a dirt road to get out there.
It's a couple-mile dirt road, bumpy road. They say on your rental car contracts, don't go off-road, and they mean don't go there, but every single rental car is on that road when you go.
And it's an absolutely beautiful beach.
It really is beautiful. And there's 2 different areas you can go. You can go into Polihale State Park, or you can go to Queens Pond. And Queens Pond is a little bit easier to swim because it's a protected cove that there's reef beyond it and a surf break beyond that. But you can get into the cove and you can get into the water easy because Polihale is unforgiving. There's some days where it's a lake, but there's some days where we call it the washing machine.
It kind of reminds me, on the Big Island, I love the town of Hilo. Of course, I love rain, and it rains there a fair bit, like a crazy amount. And then outside of Hilo is Pahoa, and outside of Pahoa, you drive all the way down to the ocean, and then you take a left, and you drive all the way to the end of the paved road, and you get to Isaac Hale Beach Park. It's the same thing. It's right at the very end. The road dead ends, and it's not a swimming beach at all, but it's just beautiful. It's black lava, and it's the sand, and it's just incredible. Just so beautiful, and you get that sense of isolation, that sense of peace. It feels like a very spiritual place.
Yeah, you get there, and it just feels like all your troubles wash away.
Yeah,
That's how Polihale is for me.
Yeah, just incredible energy.
Yeah.
I would go there. It's quite a hike to get from Hilo to Isaac Hale State Park. Maybe it's, I don't know, at least an hour, maybe longer. But it's
that's a journey.
yeah, but definitely it's just
Worth
so beautiful, and no one goes out there because it's so far out there, and there's beaches along the way on this little dirt, not dirt road, but cool little paved road. But it's the one at the very end. So I bet it has similar kind of energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just love the island of Kauai. So many beautiful things here, and the people, and like you said, the aesthetics and the feel and the energy and the community. And I've got friends, for my travels. I got friends in Belize and friends in Bozeman and friends on the Oregon coast and friends on the Maine coast. And I have so many friends in Kauai. I got friends in Thessaloniki. And it just the different places I go to meet people. And now every time I get to go back, I get to see these people like you, people that I love. And it's just a joy.
You're so loved, Steven. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, it's a joy to have you on the podcast. I wish you all the success. I want everybody, if you live around here, you got to get yourself, you're listening to this podcast, you found a podcast about something in Kauai. I don't care where in Kauai you live, drive down. It's worth it. It's fantastic. It's fun. And generally, what are your hours?
We are open 7 days a week from 11 to 6. Weather permitting, of course.
Yep.
But for the most part, we're open and ready to rock and roll.
And then your website is RipTidesKauai.com. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yeah, I think you have a beautiful website. I wonder if I know the person that helped you with that. Shout out to Arthur. He's amazing. I love Arthur.
Shout out to Arthur.
And then, of course, you do a great job on your Instagram. And I think Keho helps a little bit behind the scenes with Instagram. Am I right?
Yeah, she does. She posts a lot of our stories, and she helps me to respond to customers when they're DMing us.
Yeah, she's very talented.
She's wonderful.
Yeah, so just check out on Instagram, make sure everything's good, but come down, have some food, have some shave ice, do some swimming. Lawai Beach is right out here. But
Lawai.
I mean, Lawai Beach.
Yeah, Lawai Beach.
And don't they call it other things too?
Yeah, most people won't know it as Lawai Beach. It's called PK's because one of the surf spots is called PK's after Prince Kuhio.
Yep, exactly. Okay, that's what I was trying to think of,
Yeah.
PK's.
Yeah.
So then go out in PK's for a while, then come back in and have more shave ice and another meal.
And Steve and I need to just add in there too, we forgot one whole facet of what we do. We have tons of different smoothies also. It's really, we should call it the Sugar Shack, but there's a lot of healthy options here.
It's not even, the smoothies aren't even, I didn't realize, they're not even on my radar. So tell me about these smoothies.
Yeah, we do 4 different real fruit smoothies. One of them is called Strawbana, strawberries and banana with almond milk. The other is Surf's Up. It's mango and banana with pineapple juice. The other is a Kauai Sunrise. It's peaches, strawberries, pineapple, and mango with coconut water. And the last one we offer, which is our most popular one, is called the Lawai Acai. And that's blueberries, mango, banana, and acai in a pineapple juice. So any of those smoothies you can add protein powder to or almond butter.
Wow.
But then flip that into our fun smoothies.
Before you go to those,
okay.
What was the third to last one? It had pineapple juice in it and some other cool things.
The third to last?
Or the second to last?
The Kauai Sunrise.
Yes. Tell me that one again.
That one is mango, pineapple, strawberry, and peaches with coconut water.
I bet that is amazing.
It's yum, yum.
Oh,
Add some vanilla protein powder to that.
Oh, I might have that. Okay, and now let's go to those are the healthy ones.
Those are our healthy
that
smoothies.
make you live forever.
Yes.
This is not an FDA-approved segment. I'm just making stuff up. Relax.
And I should say you can choose your liquid, despite what we pair it with. We offer almond milk, oat milk, coconut water, and pineapple juice. So you have those options to mix and match.
Yeah, but the coconut water and all those other things, that sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
Again, all that's lacking is rum or vodka, but I can handle that later. I should drive around with rum and vodka in my car.
So, yeah.
I'm missing out. Just add it to
Just amend all of your drinks. Yes.
I do drink drinks that don't have alcohol, just so we're clear. And now tell us about the fun ones.
Our fun smoothies, we call them fun because they all have vanilla ice cream in them. But we've got a pina colada, which we use pineapple juice, coconut syrup, ice cream, and ice, and we blend it up. Then we line your cup with our handcrafted organic pineapple syrup. Put the smoothie in, we top it with whipped cream, and again, our handcrafted pineapple syrup. Then we've got the lava flow, which is the exact same thing as the pina colada, but we use our organic strawberry syrup to line the cup, which makes the lava. We also have a PK's Passion, which is one of my favorites. If I were to eat dairy, I would get this one all the time. It's our handcrafted passion fruit, syrup, pineapple juice, ice cream, and ice. Blend it up, line the cup with the passion fruit syrup, and then we top all of those fun smoothies off with whipped cream.
Okay, and then the thing you could add, I know you could.
It's Koloa rum.
Well, no, macadamia nuts.
We could.
I could pay extra and have macadamia nuts added to mine. I mean, it would be good for the straw, be good for the spoon.
I was going to say, not so good for the straw, but we can do it.
Yeah, and then just drink it and use a spoon. Because I just think some of those that you described would be fantastic with the macadamia nuts. I didn't realize it was vanilla ice cream macadamia nuts on top, but it was so good hidden in the bottom of my shave ice. And now I know the secret. Put mac nuts on everything. In fact, we'll put a scoop of mac nuts on the chili.
We'll try it on your hot dog later. See what you think.
That's how you make a hot dog Hawaiian.
A mac nut dog.
Mac nug, and then a little drizzle of pineapple syrup.
Syrup.
No,
I think we're onto something. Now we have a new menu item.
I don't think so. I think I'm just tired and rummy. All right.
Yeah. So, we offer a lot in a little tiny space.
Yeah, and it's all really, and you are very particular. Oh, we got to cover one more thing. But you're really particular about you get really good quality stuff. Okay, now the maniacal way you make your ice. You got to tell people this story, how you make your ice, because you're so proud of it. And I thought you're out of your mind. And then I'm in there filming, watching you do it. And I realized, oh, she's right. This is exactly how you have to do it.
There's a method to the madness. I can make it easy, and I could purchase blocked ice. But when we do that, so we make our own ice. We use buckets, and we freeze. It takes 3 to 4 days to freeze 1 block of ice. So at any given time, we have 50 to 75 buckets freezing. And then there's a rotation that we do. We bag them when we're done, and that's what we bring down to shave. When we're low on ice or we need to supplement, I've had to purchase ice in the past, and it's very different. It's loose ice compressed into blocks. So there's all these little pukas in it, little holes. And so it doesn't shave as nicely. It's harder to get it to be this fine shaven masterpiece.
Because you fill the bucket with water, put it in a special freezer, in a secret location that we cannot tell. It's like the Mindy cave.
Yes. Yeah. I tell you, I'll have to kill you.
Yeah, it's the RipTide cave. It's like the Bat cave, only better. There's pineapples hanging from the ceiling, just wild-winged pineapples. But you freeze it for a good 3-4 days, so it gets really, really frozen. And then you bring it and you let it sit out for, I don't know, a half hour, 20 minutes or so it just gets a little bit, not quite 100% frozen, but you're shaving a frozen block. And that makes such a difference in the consistency of the shave ice.
It actually has to sweat. It's called sweating when we leave it out. It needs a good 30 minutes to get to the proper consistency for us to shave it. If it's too frozen, it won't shave properly. The ice won't stick to each other. It'll just fall off. You can't even make a shave ice, really. So yeah, we leave it out. You let it sweat. And, our machine is top of the line, so we can adjust the blade accordingly. Sometimes it's a little tricky, gives us a hard time, but we really do take pride in the way that we shave, and we get a lot of compliments on it because shave ice is supposed to melt in your mouth. You're not supposed to chew it. It's not a snow cone. It's not crunchy by any means.
Yep. Yeah. That's a good example. Yeah, it's not a snow cone. Shave ice is very different. And it's lots of places in the state of Hawaii have shave ice. Some places do it better than others. And I've had lots of good shave ice. I've had some not so good, but I've never had better than what you make here. Yours is equal to any other place that has shave ice in the whole state. So
thank you so much, Steve. Thank you. That's such a compliment coming from you, Mr. Foodie.
All right. Well, you have yourself a wonderful day. We're going to bring this podcast to a close. I think I need the Maui sunrise. No, what is it?
The Kauai sunrise.
Kauai.
The Maui. Here today, gone to Maui?
Yeah, here today, gone to Maui. Yeah.
We're going to make Steven a Kauai sunrise.
Yeah, and then maybe a hot dog. Yeah, because the healthy smoothie and then the unhealthy Coke. Yeah. And you know what? I've got time. I may have to just put on my swimming trunks and head out into the water.
I encourage you to do that. The sun is shining today. We've had very windy, wet weather the last couple of weeks.
I can just literally go into there's a public bathroom right here. I can change my clothes.
We're 10 feet from the water.
I can go out into the water with my smoothie.
With your smoothie, yeah.
Enjoy the smoothie, film myself enjoying the smoothie, then come back from my heartache, my hardships of having to walk all the way across the street like a little narrow lane, and then have a hot dog to get myself, back into working shape to head off to my next event.
It's a tough life when you have to have sand in between your toes.
Yeah. Wearing my reef sandals every day and shorts, it's just awful.
You should see Steven. He's such a Kauai guy right now. He's cruising.
I'm cruising. I tell you, this food, it's straight fire cherry broth.
Mahalo, Steven. Thank you so much. This is always good fun spending time with you.
Cheers.